fucking up that little plan. So fucking scared that I might just up and retaliate. You ask me why, should my heart be filled with hate? Motherfuck the past, talking about shit that's happening here today. I'm on my knees, oh Lord help me control this rage. I'm being teased like a beast locked within a cage. They're setting traps, and almost killed me twice, you see. They won't feel safe till they got me hanging from a tree. I'm still running, but I got the Lord on my side. Pour a drink on the corner for my homies that have fought and died. Ain't nothing changed, I still live my life in fear. I ask you God, where we go from here? From here.
What's up, everybody? What's going on? This T.O.G and Barilla, man, and we got some popping tonight, man.
How you doing, man? How y'all doing, man? This is T.O.G, man. What's happening with
you? Just getting, we adding folks in, man, so bear with us.
Yeah, had a little technical difficulty starting out.
What we always say?
Hey.
Delayed but not denied.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm on with now.
Delayed but not denied.
Oh.
Yeah. So look, you know how we get ready, man. We you know how we do it. We always say, you know, how was your week? You know, we're gonna start off with you. How was your week, bro?
Hey, man, my like I say, man, you know, we did a lot of stuff this week. We made some moves on some things, and I felt good about that.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it's been.
What kind of things you made some moves on, Tim?
Oh, look, we got the business license, we got the LLC. We establishing a media company with a couple of partners. We hooking up, and all this is a Birmingham connection. I mean, it's all Birmingham guys. You know, we're looking to build ourselves into something that we deserve to have here. So we're working on that. You know, and it. One thing I want people to understand that, man, that we could do whatever everybody else do at all time. I've been a lot of places, seen a lot of things. To me, ain't nothing better than Birmingham. Or I wouldn't be here.
All right. Look, we got to start representing our own, man. We celebrate everybody else's state. What everybody else doing. We ain't celebrating Birmingham like we should. We should get behind our own and celebrate, right?
Yeah, I mean, I believe that. You know, I've been doing it since the 80s. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 1 out of 100 don't. You know.
I mean, it don't take but one for real for me, because I'm the only one that's there when I'm there.
Yeah.
So you know, and along with my ancestors, let me just say that I don't never travel anywhere alone. I always got people, but I always got somebody with me. But the thing is that everywhere I've been throughout my military and everything else, you know, it's always a janking thing. People talk. I remember this dude told me I drove all the way from Alabama to California on a tractor in a tank of gas. You know what I'm saying? Just with that country shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
they can't be country.
But when it came down to it, you know what I'm saying? We saw what was happening. Now all my partners in the Navy, I had partners from everywhere. Man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they didn't think I was this and that, but we have to understand who we are and build a thing. It's not about a reputation and thing like that. It's just that we go through the same thing anybody else goes through.
Mm-hmm.
We dealing with the same situations and understanding that everybody else going through.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing about us is, you know, down south is real oppressive.
Yeah.
And by being that type of oppressive, and it might not be as seem oppressive as you stand up in it when you've been here, but when you go out of here and come back in here and see how this thing's set up, you're like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Because other places are not like this.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So, and learning how to grow and understand as community. We to me are in one of the best positions as a city.
Yeah.
That we can be in. Because we can make up how we want our neighborhoods. We can come together and build our neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
We can build financial gain. I mean, I can see Birmingham being another Black Wall Street.
I mean, it's a
Wall Street period with multicultural. I ain't, you know what I'm saying, but I think about us first.
Yeah.
I mean, my thing is that, you know what I'm saying, let's do it.
It's our best. So my week, it's been pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Definitely still growing, right? Still building. Still bridging gaps. Like I say, man, God bless. You know what I'm saying? God moving, He moving.
Oh,
Um, he bring my family up. You know,
that's a great thing.
you know. I thought about some. I was thinking about it this morning. You know, they say God is love, right?
Yeah.
God is peace. When I tell you I got God all in my house, because I know I'm loved and it's peaceful in my house. And so I know God is God is present. And so, you're not trying to, I ain't trying to be all holier than thou. I'm just telling you.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's three things I come to realize. There's three things how people go. You either going through a storm, you either facing a storm, or you either coming out of a storm. It's either or. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you. Yeah. I mean, and it is, the thing is, to me, and I'm the peace part is what I'm at.
Love it.
I mean,
Love
and
it.
understanding the storm that
Yeah.
gives me gives me more clarity about peace
Mhm.
after going through the things and understanding, and then it gives me more clarity about the actual people you want to be around, and then it makes you look at what can I do better,
Mhm.
and how can I be better than I was. That's
Yeah.
what it do for me. I look at that and I say to myself, man, all the stuff I did, all the stuff I've been through, I really feel like I did the best I could do at that time. I don't regret anything
Uh-huh.
because at that point in time when I was growing and coming into myself, that's what I knew. But what the biggest thing for me is, and for the things I look at, is that when you know better, you do better. So as I learned, I grew.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
What's that? Yeah. So
Yeah.
look. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and get into what we came up for, right? So what we got for everybody, we got some educators, man. We're gonna bring them in. We're gonna have them on the line, and basically, man, we're gonna talk about their teachers. We're gonna talk about kind of what they're going through,
Yeah. But the
what
school
they deal
system.
with on the daily.
Yeah.
Like I say, they have our kids in their care, and so we want to talk about what they have to deal with every day and what can we do to help as parents, as a community, help bridge the gap, help the teachers. We're going to talk about this violence going on with these kids because we are losing a generation daily. So no, not yet.
Not yet.
So we get ready to bring everybody on. We're gonna let them introduce themselves. Tell them what school
Affiliated with.
you teach at. Give us a name and everything. So we're gonna bring everybody in, man. And we want to say thank you too and welcome. Okay, okay, we got them in.
Okay.
So we're gonna start off with Dr. Hendricks. How you doing today?
I'm well. How are you?
Hold on. I can't hear you. Hold on. Let me see. I can't hear. Y'all can hear us, right?
Yes.
Can y'all hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay. Let me see. I can't hear y'all though. I'm trying to see why not. Hold on just for a second. Let me use- Say something now.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Say something now. Say
Good
say something.
evening.
There you go. How you doing, Dr. Hendricks?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. And thank you for coming on. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, ma'am. We're gonna get you to introduce yourself and tell us what school what I'm saying, you teach at or whatnot. And then we'll go on to the next person.
I am Dr. Javar Hendricks, and I teach at Huffman High School.
And what do you
Okay.
teach? Can you tell us what you teach?
I teach 11th grade English.
Gotcha.
I was never good at English.
Yeah. And let me ask you this: how long you been teaching?
This is year 27.
Woo,
Wow.
Lord.
Okay, you know somehow. I mean, 27. Yeah. Exactly. So look, I actually have a son, and when you probably taught my son at Houghton High School.
You probably taught little Tim.
Yeah, both our kids,
Yeah.
both our kids
I
went to
well,
Houghton.
I've only been at Huffman. This is my 4th year
Oh, okay,
Okay,
got you.
okay.
at Huffman.
Okay, where were you before that?
I've been a little here and there. I'm the cleaner. I
Okay,
usually come in to
you know,
help raise test scores.
got you, and we need that, and we appreciate you.
Oh, no
I
doubt.
know
So
y'all
so
probably don't
so
get
that
a.
that's one of my expertise. I am great at what I do, so I come in to help raise reading and English scores.
Okay, all right. So our next guest, Miss Wendy Kelly Gilbert. Can you?
Okay.
I'm gonna have to pull it up. Can you introduce yourself and tell us what school you're affiliated with and what you teach and how long you've been doing it and how long you've been there?
Yeah, so thank you again for having me. I'm Winnell Kelly Gilbert, and I am currently a biology instructor at Lawson State Community College. Formerly a secondary education teacher, taught in Jefferson County and had a couple of years in middle school in Hoover City. My total years in education is 20, I'm almost at 25 years.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. So we've been in there together.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I appreciate you for coming on. Appreciate you taking your time. I know it's heavy. Yeah, just do the test scores and everything else. So
Mhm.
definitely. Look. So I've dealt with Huffman. Wendy, I grew up with you, so you already know I know. So
Yeah.
I want y'all to kind of touch on some of the things. Um, I, I don't, I don't want y'all to kind of. I want you to incriminate yourself or shoot down, but what do y'all deal with that the parents don't understand what y'all dealing with on a daily?
Well, for me, which is different from Wendy, I deal with what the parents don't want to see
Mhm.
Okay,
and they don't want to accept. And what I mean by that is the behavior that we see daily.
okay,
For some kids, not all, is the disrespect that the parents don't believe that their children display,
Mhm.
or the disrespect that the parents uphold.
I was getting ready to say I don't think they don't believe it.
Now,
You
now
understand?
some
And,
don't believe that their children don't do anything.
okay, okay,
So that's one group. Then
okay.
you have another group that will uphold what their children do. Then you have some kids. Now, let me say this. There are some kids that are great, but you have that handful that will mess it up for everybody.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
And that's what we deal with for the most part, that handful.
Before we dig in
And
further, we
I was
actually
going
have
to add. I'm
let,
sorry.
before we dig in a little further, we have another teacher we want to introduce before we go further with it because I want to get everybody, what they're going through. Uh, before we go further, can you introduce yourself and kind of tell us what school you affiliate with, and how long you been doing it, and what you teach?
All right, so my name is Erica Sumter Congress, and I work at for Fairfield City School System.
Okay.
I work at C.J. Donald Middle School.
Mhm.
I've only been teaching 4 years now,
Okay.
so this was like a second career choice for me.
Okay. Okay. So look, I want to applaud you, ladies. Right? I was trying to get some males on here tonight too. I wanted different perspective from male and females, but I couldn't get no males. But definitely, again, we applaud y'all. Believe me, I know y'all. I know y'all don't get the just do y'all should get, but you got some parents that really appreciate y'all. So before we move forward, I wanted to let y'all know that. Wendy, you was next. I know you said you had something to add on to that.
Yes. In reference to Dr. Jenkins, right? Dr. Jenkins?
Hendra.
Hendrix.
Hendricks, I'm sorry. Dr. Hendricks. And she's exactly right. When I did teach in high school for the number of years I did, it was a lot of behavioral issues. And what happens is that, you have really good, solid kids that are there in the mix, and a lot of energy that most teachers we're putting in the energy into the behavioral problems. And what happened, the kids aren't getting what they need in the classroom. And then when they get to on college level, a lot of them may not be prepared. So it kind of all ties in together. And the biggest issue is behavior.
Okay.
And a lot of it comes, we don't want to admit it, but it comes from home. When you have the breakdown of the families, the community dynamics have shifted. It's a lot. And a lot of these kids are bringing so much baggage with them that we don't really want to talk about, but it's our reality in our communities.
Got you. So, the question was, what do you have to deal with dealing with the students in school? Some of the things that parents wouldn't know or understand, or don't think y'all have to deal with. So that's what they kind of explaining. Can you kind of what you have to deal with on the daily?
Well, a lot. But with our school, this year it's been unreal for us, like unbelievable. Um, the apathy with our students. Um, Previous years, there was like a pull. You had to pull the information from the students.
Mhm.
But this year, I told my students one day that it feels as if the entire seventh grade decided they can't fail all of us. So if nobody does any work,
Mm,
they can't fail
mm,
all of us.
mm.
They're sticking together. They sticking together.
Right. Because
Okay.
they absolutely will not do their assignments.
Because
And
you at the
so,
age where they smell themselves anyway.
right,
Yeah,
right. They're
yeah.
going through all these
Puberty, yeah.
topsy turvy curves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
let me
so,
go ahead.
and so I think that parents, they want to be contact, right? They want you to tell them if their child is failing. But if you have 130 students total and 100 of them decide they're not going to do any assignments, it takes time to go down that road and call and try to contact parents to say, hey, your child isn't doing their assignments, and they're not going to pass. And I think a lot of parents they're only concerned with their kid, and that's a huge problem because
Mhm.
we should, as a community, like what happened to the
The
community,
village.
the
Mhm.
village
Yeah.
helping to raise the kids. So when you're only focused on your kid, you're forgetting the fact that they're in a classroom with 29 other peers that is influencing them. No matter how you raise them at home, they're being influenced by their peers. And so when their peers are cutting up and distracting in class, they can't help but laugh and pay more attention to them than they are to what they're supposed to be doing.
Gotcha.
You know, and so I think parents are just oblivious to that. They don't get it. They only want to know about their child, not realizing that those other kids are influencing their child. So you have to be concerned about everyone within that classroom.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Robertson made a comment where he said peer pressure.
Gotcha,
Mhm.
Larry. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up, Larry? Now, my thing is, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at like, why are we not coming up with? We're still teaching the way we taught when I went to school, basically. Everything basically is the same way in the city schools. That's what I'm thinking. So, do we have any alternative ways of teaching, of gathering their attention?
Or is that true?
Let me stop you there.
Okay.
Okay.
I cannot teach. I teach three different classes. I cannot teach every class the same way.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I did my dissertation on differentiated instruction. That means I have to teach to reach all of my children. That's the only way they're going to be successful. I have to reach them where they are and pull them up. The problem is where the young lady, I don't didn't catch her name, that's in the studio with you all. When they come to me in the 11th grade with that mindset that I can't fail you, because they have been passed along because of that mindset. And somebody like me, I'm the documentation queen. I'm not going to call your mama because your mama going to say I didn't call her. I'm going to email and have that paper trail, and I'm going to make graduation short.
I hear you. Now my thing
I'm going to make graduation short because you're not, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to do everything that I can. I'm going to have technology there. I'm going to have visual aids. I'm going to have handouts there. I'm going to have some for different type of learners, my ELL learners, for my SPED kids. I'm going to have audio going on where they can listen once they start, when they're reading, if they need to hear somebody read the story to them. So I'm going to make it every way possible for them to pass my class. If they make the decision not to do my assignment, I had a little boy today, he slept through class. So when we took up work, I made him write his name on his paper, and he had to write slept through class on his work. So when he sees me June 12th through July 14th, and I have to submit that documentation, in his writing, all of his assignments will say why he failed my class. So it's not that we're teaching old school, we're having to combat that mentality that I can't fail you, because in middle school, they want me to teach, because I taught middle school, they want me to teach to your current situation. They want me to pat your head and pat you behind and pat you on the back and say, oh, woo, 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 and send you on. But when you get to high school, that's a different tale. When you get to Lawson State, you're now paying a tuition, and I don't care if you paid your tuition. If you don't do my work, you're going to fail my class. If she looked into Blackboard and you hadn't submitted your work, you're going to fail that class, and you're going to
Yeah.
have to take it over again. Like I'm getting ready to start reading a novel. My students aren't used to reading a novel. They're used to reading excerpts, but they're going to read it from cover to cover. If they do not, they will see me in summer school from June 12th to July the 14th.
Or next year.
There is no more apathy teaching once they get a certain grade. There is no more paper pencil antiquated way of teaching,
Yeah.
because we don't even have like textbooks for real. Their textbook is on a computer.
Online. Yeah. Yeah.
Their work, we're submitting work through a computer app. We have Schoology. I know Lawson has Blackboard. You have something called Canvas. So you have all of these different methods to where the
let,
kids
let
are
me
on their way. So
let me
they
let me
have to get their own.
let me ask you something for a minute. But my thing is, you're at a collegiate level.
No, not. She's in high
I'm
school.
at high school.
High school,
Yeah,
okay.
Wendy's at college.
Okay, so my thing, so you doing this in high school?
Yeah.
You
Yes.
do okay. So you're saying the kids are not even being prepared for that type of regimen when they come to high school. So
Right.
what type of curriculum is going on before they get to you where they're not
She
ready?
she just she just told you
Yeah.
that they have a mindset that they cannot fail.
She's
Right.
in middle
So
school.
I'm a
She
middle
middle
school
school
teacher.
teacher.
So
You got high
when
school,
she's
middle,
saying
and
that
college.
she's getting my students.
That's what I'm
Right.
saying. But
So she's getting my students. But the problem is I just got the elementary kids students. My kids came from, so I teach social studies. I'm a civics and a geography teacher.
Okay.
Right. 7th grade, we take 2 classes. I get 1 semester per class. It's a year-long course. Number one, it's hard for the middle school students to even understand the fact that you only have these many months to get everything that you were really supposed to learn in a year.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just now getting my students to wrap their mind around that concept. They're just now, right. We're in geography class now. They're just now realizing, like, oh my God, what? I just barely passed civics class and I'm failing geography. You telling me I'm gonna see you in summer school? Like, what? Right? And I've been explaining it all year, right? But my kids came from an elementary setting where history is not that important. They only
Exactly.
focus on what is being tested. So it's English
Exactly.
and math, and that's it. So my kids come and I say, So we live in Fairfield,
Mhm.
right? We all live in Fairfield. The city of Fairfield. It's in what county? Birmingham. Okay, Birmingham a city or a county? Oh, Birmingham's a city. Okay, so what county do we? They can't tell me. They can't
They can't
tell
even tell you
me.
Jefferson County.
They can't tell me.
Wow.
They have no clue,
Wow.
right? Because there's no focus there. So they don't get
But that's not
cities. They
on
don't
teachers.
get.
That's more parenting.
Now that's more
And
curriculum.
I was going to add to that as well. You know, we talk about teachers, but when it all boils down to it, a teacher cannot teach what's not there. And a lot of our students, unfortunately, are coming to school and you don't, I mean, we have parents are the first teachers. I cannot or will not depend on the system to educate my child. When they are entering school, there's something I need to do as a mother, and there's something that the father needs to do as well to make sure they have that foundation. A teacher's job is to build on what's already there. And what's happening is that, you know, in our communities, and I mean, it is reality. Some of us are not doing our part as parents and making sure our children are prepared. So they're getting into school. The teacher has a curriculum of standards that she has to cover by a certain time. And if she's dealing with behavioral issues because Johnny is not prepared, then the teacher gets behind, and then it's just like a domino effect. And so there's only so much an educator can do. And like again, it goes back to the home. What's happening? What do we value? What do we value in the home? Because what you value in the home, you're going to bring that in the classroom.
Well, on that same, I agree with you. Of course, we can't take a paintbrush and just cover all
We
the
can't, yeah.
right. And so I think that part of um, the problem in the home situation is no child left behind. I think no child left behind. I think even before no child left behind, we forget in our community that we had a crack epidemic, and that these
That was
parents,
systematic by design.
they had children addicted to crack, and now those kids have grown up and they have kids. So now there's developmental problems with those kids as well. So I think a lot of that is also in our school systems now. In addition to that, if we threw in No Child Left Behind, which caused us to socially promote, right? Because poor baby, they can't help it. We can't hold them back because, I mean, even with COVID, oh, we can't hold them back. It's not their fault that they couldn't be in the classroom. So we have to pass them on. So we socially promote it. They never got the foundation um, with the parents that were born addicted to crack, right? Yeah. Now you have kids. What did you learn in school that you can even teach your child at home, right? No Child Left Behind socially promoted these parents. So now the parents are at home thinking, why my child don't have an A? Like, I don't understand why
the
you're
kids
not
smarter than the parents, though. If you think about it,
in some instances,
let me ask you a question though. What if we had we got all these problems? We see and I'm so happy that y'all are saying this because a lot of times people won't say what's real because of different situations and understanding. What is the solutions that being inside that y'all see that we can take and bring to the community, and let's talk about certain solutions to make it
You
better?
know what? Our biggest thing is this: our children have no hope for tomorrow.
Mm.
They don't see a tomorrow.
wow.
They have nothing to live for. So there is no benefit of what we have to offer.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, and it's because there is no hope and benefit in the home.
Mm-hmm.
Those children, like it was stated earlier, it starts at home. So if education is made important in the home, then it's trickled down and trickled heavily upon in the classroom because they know what is expected of them in the home. Like for high school, a prime example for high school, to get off the failing school list and to do a lot of things is to benchmark on the ACT, the college entrance exam. Kids could care less about scoring an 18 in English or even taking the test because they don't want to go to college. They don't see any benefits of taking this test.
Mm.
One of the benefits, one of the criteria now to graduate high school is to do the FAFSA.
Yeah.
We catch the Dickens getting people to fill out the FAFSA
Mm.
because they, number one, they don't want people in their financial business.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't see the benefits that this is how we can help afford your child to go to school, but the kids don't want to go to school. Majority of the seniors at Huffman High School only want June 2nd at 7 o'clock to come. When they walk across the stage,
Yeah.
that's life. They don't have any aspirations to go to the military, nothing. So we have to find a way somewhere, and it trickles down. It doesn't start in high school. It
Oh,
starts somewhere along the way before they get to me, that
Really, elementary school.
I
that
agree.
Mhm.
we have to give them some hope. We have to give them some life somewhere, and it's exposing them to things that they can become. I can remember, and I'm getting ready to turn 50, that when I was growing up, we all wanted to be something in life.
Mhm.
We really did. You know, career day, we was all dressed up and we all wanted to be something. I can remember when I started teaching 27 years ago, my students wanted to be something. I can remember I didn't have to pull teeth from a lion that was woke for students to do their work. They had dreams and aspirations of being more than just a high school graduate.
Mhm.
Somewhere along the line, the hope was killed, the joy died in the home.
Mhm.
So until we get that back and it flows back to them, like it's been it starts in the home. It's nothing that I can do. I can do all kind of tricks in the classroom. The middle school teacher can do all kind of tricks. We can have all these great and wonderful lessons plans. We can give it to them 50 different million ways to make sure that they are learning it. But until they want to receive what we have to say to better their lives, it's nothing that we can do.
Can I
We
say?
can do we can do it all day, but
Yeah.
until they want it.
Can I say this? So what happens? What I see. So you telling me, all right? So you brought social media about. So you got people that can go make $1 million. They ain't even got to go to college.
Exactly.
So what we talking about? So if I got a 17, 18, 20 year old making $1 million hustling, social media, playing sports, because now they got the NIL deals going on right now.
Right.
What we talking about? I don't even have to even worry about learning nothing. And
But
I
You
think
know what?
yeah, but see, you have to know that that's great,
yeah,
but they don't even have that aspiration.
they,
That's what they don't.
they
They
Oh,
got
don't even
one
have a.
oh
aspiration.
no, 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 no. You think that they do, but no, they don't. Right?
Hmm.
They don't. They don't have. They're not seeing that. Right?
No,
So
okay.
if you live in Fairfield, right?
Hmm.
Everybody know. All the
Okay.
grown folks know, so you know the kids know, right?
Yeah.
The Fairfield is broke. They
Yeah.
don't have any money. Kids know Fairfield broke. They don't have any money. My students tell me that we don't have resources for them. Now that's not even completely true, right? We have a lot of programs
Hmm.
at our school, in our school system for our kids. But listening to their parents, right? So they have no
So you tell
aspirations
me they
for
don't have money
anything.
aspirations.
No,
I'm not talking about going to get a job aspiration.
right?
So
No.
you telling me they ain't, because from what I see, from what I see a lot of people hustling young. This is what I'm saying. So you cannot tell a 16, 17-year-old kid that got $100,000 making more than what you make in a year, they got that in their pocket, and you can't tell them education. Hey, you need to get an education. They're gonna look at you. Well, I'm looking at you. You got an education, and I'm looking at what you make or whatever. What we talking about? I got $100,000 from hustling right here. What you gonna tell me?
Statistically,
I have one student
Okay.
who said that he wants to be a YouTuber to do that. And that's understandable because he's doing it now. I don't know if he's cashing out on it or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, but of the 60-ish students that I teach this semester, only one has that aspiration. Maybe 15 have the aspiration of going to college. The rest of them could care less.
right,
So they ain't even caring about no money, no nothing.
right, like they.
Why their aspiration is the illegal hustle.
That's what I talk about. I mean, that's why I say it.
But when I used to teach at Washington K8, and I used to have my children to look out the window, and we used to look out the window to 6th Avenue. I used to take them outside so they can look at 6th Avenue. And I used to ask them what end of 6th Avenue did they want to be on? The one at Elmwood Cemetery or the one at UAB?
Mm.
And I asked them, their decision was to start now. That Lubman Village, Illerton Village, and low-income housing was their current situation. But education and hard work was going to get them out.
I'm gonna tell you.
That was their choice. And hustling only going to get you.
So
And I
far.
told them that third place on 6th Avenue was the jail.
They
So they
understand,
can pick what, and they understood.
but they ain't. That's not what they studying. So this is what you run across right now. You got kids watching Cardi B. Used to be a stripper. Now she a rapper, right? You get females.
They can't even put it together to be a rapper. All they want to be is a baby mama.
Well, I get that. So now they looking for a guy that's either hustling or a guy that's in the sports world or entertainment to have a baby by him. So guess what? Now once I have a baby by you, right? Now I got you leave for 18 years. Now you gotta pay child support. So this is what the females looking at Cardi B. They looking at other women that's locking down the hustlers and the hustlers and entertainers, right?
I mean, but isn't that just a demographic? That can't be everybody.
No, it's.
I'm not
Mm-mm.
saying everybody, but I'm just telling you what our people are looking at. If you're going to work and you telling me working 9 to 5, and they looking at you like you don't make no money. What's your name making 100,000 or 200,000 doing this? They going in that. They looking at BMF on TV.
Yeah,
they looking at Snowfall on TV. They looking at stuff like this, and
But
they
let me
think
show you something, man. Let me show you. Let me say this. All that stuff they looking at.
Mm-hmm.
The reason they need to be in school, they need to do the math.
Yeah.
Because the people that actually make it in the stuff they're looking at is very low.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do your percentages
Mm-hmm.
on what we're saying, going to college, going to get a job, doing that, your percentage of having a better life, if you go to school and learn math and look at what's really going on, because these stories you hear are fly-by-night people that make it. The people that actually got money have went to school.
Mm-hmm.
The people who actually got money, they can live with it. You know what I'm saying? We talking about I call it ghost money. Because once you get it at a certain age, it disappears.
But I think Dr. Hendrick touched on it. They're not even thinking that deep. They're not thinking that deep.
Right. You got a couple of comments.
Okay.
Ollie Robinson says hard work and grinding is missing.
Yeah.
Keisha Rose Style say these kids driving 50,000 scat packs, burning the tires out every weekend.
Teenagers.
I'm trying to figure out what they doing. I agree. I can't tell them nothing. The internet raising the kids.
Exactly. You can't tell a kid that got $100,000 or $200,000 in their pocket, education. Hey, you need to do this. You can't tell them that because they got more than you. They looking like, what can you tell?
But let me help you also right here.
But they ain't in school.
No.
Okay, if they ain't in school,
They
then them
either
kids. What I'm
now
saying,
some of them do.
if they're not in
trying to
school,
say something.
okay,
Let
go
me
ahead.
interject right here. Another thing is what we can't tell them is because some of them are already adults. They're raising themselves. They
True.
do what they want, when they want, how they want. Let me give you some examples.
Okay.
We have teen mothers.
Okay.
My teen mothers, I have to get them in check sometime
Mm-hmm.
because I have to remind you just because you had a baby don't make you grown.
Mm-hmm.
And they figure because they had a baby and their mama say they grown, but you're still sitting in that student section. And their attitudes are real nasty and real funky. Like
Yeah.
we can't tell you anything, but you still sitting in the 11th grade class at 16, baby. You got to know something.
So
And the little boys who are taking care of their parents with the money that they hustling and making, those are the students who are detrimental to the education system. Those are the ones that are twinkling down the way. Those are the ones that are coming because Guy Hunt changed the dropout rate to 17 and
mm-hmm.
not 16. And they got to be there for a little while longer before they gone on about their way. Those are the ones that make it hard for us when we get the attitudes and the cockiness, not the ones who really don't care because they come to class and don't do anything.
So we
They
got
may go to sleep.
so we got a comment, and I want to and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna read the comment, and I'm gonna start off with Wendy. I want you to start off answering this one.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So it say, ladies, I commend you all for your strength and courage. My question to this panel of scholars: what is the solution? How can we continue to change the narrative?
The only way we're going to change the narrative is that you got, like I said earlier, you got to bring the joy back. You
Okay.
got to bring life back. And it starts at home. It's only so much educators can do. We can't do it all. Everybody wants to put it on the education system, but I love to bake. And
Okay.
it's like baking. If I don't have, if my recipe calls for 5 eggs and I only put 3 in, I'm not, my cake is not going to come out right.
Yeah.
So until we get all of the proper ingredients to come together, the parents, the students, and the teachers, it's not going to all work together. So, and
Yeah.
we're missing two main ingredients. Are all teachers great teachers? No, they're not. Are
Yes.
all parents bad? No, they're not. Are all students bad? No, they're not. But it's very rare that you get all three of them to come together to make it work.
Well, that's what we got to work on. That's what we got to work on. That's what we're doing now. So I want all y'all to just make a pledge now that we're gonna continue to work in your own little places, and we're gonna try to put more things together for the teachers. What Miss
Wendy.
Yeah, come on.
Wendy.
What's
And
your
Your solution?
yeah, I will too. Well, we have to be the change that we want to see, and we know that there's a problem in our communities. We really do, and we have to begin with ourselves, changing the narrative and being more positive. But there is an issue, and we have to be able to address that issue. It's systematic,
Yeah.
and you can historically you can go back 400 years ago. It was designed to be this way, but with the knowledge that we have and the information that we have, we are America's greatest threat.
You feel me? Talk to
And
me. Talk to
because
me.
we are America's greatest threat, there has been things that have been systematically in place for us to be where they are, and we're continuing to fall into that hole. But those that are knowledgeable, those that we can be an example. There's a lot that we can do. We're suffering, and it hurts my heart because I know the potential that we have. Being on a collegiate level, I love going to work. We do have our issues like anyone else, but I love going to work. I couldn't say that if I was still teaching high school. So, we're losing good quality teachers. People don't want to continue to, because it's a lot. It's a lot that takes place that a lot of our educators are dealing with. And, my thing is just, we have to be the change that we want to see and continue to, work hard and strive and be that example. Because if not, we're losing generations and generations of young people.
Okay.
So what you?
So for me, I think that I honestly think that we need to implement more mental health awareness in our schools. One thing I can say about Fairfield City Schools, one thing I love about Fairfield City Schools is that um, they understand that our students have experienced a lot of trauma. We have a lot of trauma
Everywhere
in our
Yeah.
schools.
Yeah.
And so what Fairfield has implemented in our school system, for one, we have um, the health clinic, the actual clinic in our buildings. So our students' parents can just call in and make a doctor's appointment. Our kids can come to school, and then when it's time for their appointment, they can leave class, go to their doctor's appointment, and then come back to class. We have mental health professionals that come to our school. Our kids get called to the office. Their classmates do not know that they're going to receive counseling from a licensed counselor on campus,
Gotcha.
and then they come back into class. We have our regular school counselor that offers group counseling sessions for our students. We have mentorship programs that come into our school that also help our kids call them out in groups on certain days of the week, different groups, right? Good Guys is one of our groups. And I think that the one thing that we need to implement in our school systems is more mental health, more because our kids, I mean, come on, when we as adults see the violence that happens in school systems across the country, it impacts us. Like we are always like, oh my God, oh my God. We have to figure out how to cope and how to deal. And then now we have these children that also see it, also have questions, trying to figure out how to cope, right?
At the same time.
And so they don't know how to cope. And if we're not addressing it like on a consistent basis, then we're gonna lose them. Like we've lost them. Just where we are right now, a lot of it has to do with trauma. You know, I have a student that recently was injured gun violence, right? She hasn't been to school in months. When I heard it, I couldn't teach. That we did not learn anything that day because I couldn't even teach. Right, my students weren't able to receive it. It was no need in teaching. This was their classmate, right? A lot of them went to school with from kindergarten to the 7th grade, and so when all of these things happen, especially just the city, just Birmingham, we have so much violence in the city. When all these things happen in our city, it affects our kids.
Well, we just lost 3 over the
And that's where the hope
yeah,
comes, right?
We lost 3
And that's
kids
the lack of hope.
over the.
That's part of where the lack of hope is. It's like I have my daughter-in-law teaches at Irwin. They lost 2 students in 2 months, like on the 21st of December, and then on the 21st of January, both from guns, right?
Yeah.
And then the students at the school questioned, so on the 21st of February, are we also gonna have another death? Another one of our classmates gonna die? Like, am I gonna die on the 21st of the next month? Right? That's trauma. And too much trauma is gonna make you lose hope. Why would you dream? Why would you aspire? Why would you want to become anything when you are not even sure if you're gonna make it to be 19?
So let me ask you. So Wendy, let me ask you something. You're on the college level. You have to deal with what high school and elementary deal with on the college level. You know, you're dealing with a more older kids. Do you have
a more focused kid?
Yes.
Because you come to college, you be really. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So
well, it varies. So community colleges are non-traditional. So I have students that are straight out of high school. Some are prepared, some are not prepared. I have adults that are working 3 and 4 jobs with multiple children, trying to go back to school, or trying to get a degree for the first time. And it's hard for them to balance. So we have a lot of challenges. I have a 70-year-old woman that I taught. She had custody, and having custody of her grandchildren. And because of the change, she was going back to school to get her nursing certification because she had to make more money. So there's a lot of different dynamics that, that you're dealing with. And a lot of our, people, and there's a lot to offer at the community college level, but it does. So you're dealing with a lot of things. A lot of our high school students are coming in, they're not prepared. They're not prepared at all. And like they're used to, they want teachers to teach to the test. And when they're not teaching to the test, it's hard for them to shift. And I teach upper level biology courses. And, you have to have that foundation coming in. And so a lot of them aren't prepared. And people, they choose community college because, just to have that extra cushion of help and assistance before going on to a 4-year. You deal with a lot of issues, but I will say this, there are a lot of programs, and I'm learning this since I've been at Lawson, but there are a lot of programs that the community college offer that for students that may not be interested in doing anything in the sciences. We have kids that are finishing Lawson making 6 figures plus in our auto mechanic program, in the mechatronics program. They're doing extremely well in the program. And a lot of the students that are in those programs, a lot of them don't look like us. And they're coming in, they're going through these programs, they're being very successful, they're being placed in jobs, and they're making a lot of money. And I think if our high school students are hearing that, Lawson's just around the corner from Fairfield.
But it's a vocation on the high schools.
Exactly. And also these kids can they can take a math, science, and computer class at Lawson State. If you're a Birmingham City student, it is, if you take any STEM courses, you can take it as long as you make a C or better, you get a college credit. And so these kids, if they take advantage of it, they can build their college credit. So when it's time for them to go to college, their parents may not have to pay that much money because of the opportunities. And these things are out there. And I think,
enrollment.
Yes, through dual enrollment. Free. I had to pay for my son to do dual enrollment, but these kids can do it. They can do it free of charge. All resources included.
Hey man, you know what? I really appreciate y'all coming on. We're about at the end of this.
We're going to bring y'all.
We're gonna have to do it all again because I want to do a panel, a round table, and what I'm thinking is let's have a live group. I can't. Yeah. Let's have a live circle, and sit down. We do it at the studio. Everybody at the studio. Let's have and get an audience in. Let's talk. Cause we need the community to get involved and talk with us, as are we community also. But we want more community members to understand and realize what y'all
resources out there.
Yeah, the resource. That's what I'm saying. The resources are here. I remember when the resources weren't there, we had better students. But now the resources are there, the students are not there. And that's what I'm starting to see. Now, I don't know. I'm just speculating from my side looking in. But, with everything that you're saying, they falling for the fool's gold because you just told us they're making 6 figures doing something that they mechanics.
But it ain't us.
But I'm saying, so we
could be us.
But we're falling for the fool's gold by the people lining money up against their arm. That money is right there. These people are building the future. This is a difference. It's a difference than instant gratification than going and getting your thing what you need. This is a microwave society. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I'm gonna leave you alone because I go. I'm so glad we had the time to talk to y'all. Appreciate it.
Ladies, I appreciate y'all coming on. We definitely gonna reach back out. We want to do a live panel probably in about another month or two. We're gonna do a live panel, but we're gonna get in touch with y'all. We definitely want y'all back on. We'll probably add some more people, some more teachers or whatever, some more males too.
And we're gonna call out the male teachers. We need y'all because we want to see what we can do to help not only in the school but in the community.
Now, I don't want y'all to miss these comments. Larry Robinson said it takes a village, educators, churches, communities, leaders, parents, a good family structure. Keisha Rose Styles said teachers do more discipline than teaching nowadays. It has to start at home.
Okay.
All that is very true.
And
Thank
we
y'all for your
appreciate y'all,
comments.
man.
Let's make this thing happen. Keep moving, and let's make this a movement with this.
Look, so definitely we about to get out of here, and I want to thank all y'all individually, Miss Dr. Hendricks, Wendy. You know, I've been knowing you since we were kids.
Erica,
I want to thank you. I know we had a little technical difficulty, but I want to appreciate you. Thank you for coming on, and we're gonna reach back out to everybody to bring y'all back home, right? So look, every Wednesday, if y'all would join us every Wednesday, check us out. This is what we be talking about: community, trying to help the community, help our people to do better, right? And so definitely thank you. I got to thank Jalon for bringing Dr. Hendricks. She gave me her name and everything.
How you been? Look, we in now. Once you locked in, ain't no switching up.
Thank y'all, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Peace
All
out.
right. Bye-bye.
Yeah. So look, everybody, we about to get out of here.
Yes, sir.
Right,
Yes,
we about to
sir.
wrap it up.
I think it was a great show.
Sure.
I think that if you haven't liked and subscribed, go like and subscribe. I want to thank you, Miss Erica, for giving us those profound words and really enlightened me on. I never thought about kids not going to learn. So, these are things that, and a lot of probably parents never even think that. So maybe we enlighten some people, maybe we can bring some more conversation to the table. And the more conversation, the more solutions, more answers, the bigger the damn future. You understand what I'm talking about? That's it.
T.O.G. Blue.
Hit the video, DJ.
You know what I'm saying? Feel it. Yeah, the hunt is on. Every step I take is with my gauge. I'm selling dope. I can't live on. You know what I'm saying? Feel it. Yeah, the hunt is on. Every step I take is with my gauge. I'm selling dope. I can't live on fucking minimum wage. A young black man, now you know what that means, G. A hard life, and ain't nobody hiring me. Too black, too